TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Any good Herb Abrams stories? Because you went to work for Herb.
Herb was a funny guy. I mean, a very, very strange little fella.
Yeah.
And by all practical purposes, as far as I was concerned, a nice guy. I think that if I had to fault him, I mean, he had a weakness for cocaine and titty bars. Between the two of them, I'd go to the titty bars with him as long as he was buying the drinks,
right?
And the lap dances and all the shit that went along with it. But those weren't places that I chose to frequent, and not because I didn't like women. It's just that they're in the business and I'm in the business, and we're both in the same business of
working
sports entertainment and working the fucking crowd. So the only disagreement I ever had with her was I had worked this little angle up with a black referee, and it was to where at first I refused to let him referee my matches.
Right.
And then it builds up to where they end up, he is refereeing the matches. And I think I was working with David Sammartino when we do the angle, and the referee does something and gets knocked down. Oh, yeah, David scoop slams me, my feet hit the referee, knock him down. And after that, he gets the 3 count because the referee's knocked down. And anyway, so I kicked the shit out of the referee. Now, I was supposed to get back with the referee. We had it all built up where, his mother comes out and supposed to, Colonel DeBeers, please.
Right.
My son wants to wrestle you so bad, but he got a head injury, and that's why he's a referee and not a wrestler. Please, And to build up for the pay-per-view. But somehow Herb got, the shaky asshole about the thing. And for no reason at all, they throw me in a strap match against Paul Orndorff. Why? I have no idea. It didn't mean diddly shit. It was just thrown in as an attempt to draw money.
Who was his booker?
Down in, I think it was Brian Blair at the time.
Okay.
But I don't think Brian had any, because I talked to Brian. I said, why aren't we carrying forward with this? Well, Herb don't want to. He's afraid of the angle. He don't want to do it. So, again, why did we spend all that time if, Herb was going to get the cold willy there,
right?
Building this thing up, and then why have a match with Paul Orndorff, which doesn't amount to a row of shit. And then on top of that, there was the kid that's dead now.
Louis Piccoli?
No, he wasn't. I don't think he was on the card. Christ. The Road Warriors brother. He was
John
Laurinaitis on the card, and the big kid from down south.
I know Terminator, and then there was Johnny Ace.
Johnny Ace was,
right.
Was the baby face in the match, and shit, I can still see he went goofy on pills and messed himself up. From down south, good worker, big kid.
Trying to think. Did he ever work in New York?
He was Hayes. Him and Hayes were teamed up for
Terry Gordy.
Yeah, Terry Gordy.
Yeah.
They had a match before, and they went over the pay-per-view. You got limited time, and you got to keep it in the time frame. But they went over and were all over the goddamn building, beating the shit out of each other. And so it comes down to mine and Orndorff's match, and what was supposed to be a 12-minute time limit, turns into like a 5-minute slot. Got to get it all in here in 5 or 6 minutes. Now we've got to hustle everything up, and no chance to really get a story developed. But bitter? No, I guess working 5 minutes and it pays the same as working for 6 minutes or 12 minutes. It all pays the same. And the funny thing about that was that Herb was a little shaky on the payoffs. You work for him, you get a check, you take the check to the bank, the check would bounce. You'd get a letter from the bank stating, Mr. Abrams' check was returned in error. Please redeposit it. There are sufficient funds to cover, a form letter. And so that was the first check. Second check, the letter came before the check came back.
Wow.
And so when it came to, after that, I just told Herb, I said, Herb, we need to, do this on a cash basis. I said, my bank's not understanding this, and I don't like to do this. And so the evening of the pay-per-view, it ill-fated. I mean, it didn't draw diddly squat there.
This is one in Vegas, right?
No, this is the one in Manatee,
okay.
Manatee Center in Florida.
Right, with Cactus.
And I think Orton Jr. and I had met, and we were going to the building, and we stopped in at Albertsons. And I bought some, instant grits, some flavored grits, because I like grits. You can't get them where I'm from. And anyway, the manager recognized me and Orton. Hey, what are you doing? Yada yada. And I said, hey, I'm getting a check tonight. I said, I'd like to get it cashed. Could I come back after the show? Oh yeah. He said, no problem. Well, again, I went back, cashed the check, and the guy gave me my payoff.
Right.
I think it was $750, which bounced. A lot of guys didn't get their money, but I got mine because Joe Albertson ate the check.
Wow. How did you develop your promo skills?
I don't know that I ever did. I think that there were people like Lord Lowbrook, and I remember Lord Alfred Hayes when I got my first break of any substance in Kansas City. I mean, I had breaks prior to Kansas City, but they were sporadic things. I mean, when I was in Tennessee and was teamed with Big Bad John. I mean, I was teamed with Big Bad John because a guy named Gray had been injured, and they just kicked me up into his spot, and I was there for about 4 to 5 weeks, and then when he came back, I went to the bottom again. And basically Big Bad John did all the talking, but I had a style picked out, and Lord Alfred Hayes, when I did an interview in Kansas City, he said, "You got the right idea, kid." He said, "Not everybody's a screamer." And he said, if you just get your message across, he said, that's more important than sitting there and call everybody stupid asses. And he said, basically talk around the asshole and it'll fall out. You don't have to chew it out.
All right. Memories of DDP.
Diamond Dallas Page. Again, Dallas was my manager, which I didn't really need, but they assigned him to me, and it kind of like, me being DeBeers and him being the Diamond Exchange or whatever his gimmick was. It seemed like a natural fit, but I never cared to work with a manager because I didn't want half of my heat going with him.
Yeah.
And I just never could quite figure out Dallas's angle. He's a manager, and then he becomes a worker. And my understanding was that he had a couple of very successful nightclubs in Florida before he ever got involved in the business. And, my goal is to save enough money to get a couple successful nightclubs in Florida. Yeah. And he's going backwards. I don't know. I mean, why would somebody want to, get involved and get your body all beat up if you can stand there and just talk and take a bump, once every 2 or 3 weeks, when it's time to get to the manager, rather than to beat your body up every day and become crippled. I don't understand that mentality, but again, hindsight's 20/20, I guess.
You opened up
TitleMatchNetwork.com